Hi, this is Barry here. So, what are the benefits and drawbacks of starting with a large niche or a smaller niche when it comes to blogging? Okay, I know what this is like because many years back I tried to start a blog on weight loss. And what I was doing was I was looking at the niche as one big, huge ball. All these weight loss people. And because it was a huge number of people who needed to lose weight, I thought to myself, I'm going to make an absolute killing here because there are loads of people who need to lose weight. But you will find that if you go after a large niche, you are going to be writing content that isn't relevant to anyone. Now, maybe to explain it a bit better, if we imagine a large niche like the dog niche. So, for example, I'm going to set up a blog today and I'm going to write about dogs. So, what content am I going to write today? Okay, I could say to myself, well, maybe I'll write an article about Labradors. But then what about all the people that have Shih Tzus? What about all the people that have Rottweilers, Dobermans, all those different breeds? I'm missing it on all those people because I'm solely focused on Labradors. So maybe I'll write an article for them tomorrow and maybe the next day. So I'm sure you can see that when you're kind of writing content on when you haven't actually nailed it down, you're writing content to all different groups and you're mentioning different things that, are going to be really, really confusing for you and also for them. When they land on your blog, are the blog that they have landed on, is it a Labrador blog? Is it a Shih Tzu blog? Is it a Rottweiler blog? Does this person know what they're talking about? Because you will find sometimes that if you land on a blog and it's got so much information on a large range of things, you're going to think to yourself, well, does this person actually know specifically about my dog breed, or is this a kind of general blog? And you will find that people will probably go to a specialized blog because that's what they're looking for. Again, maybe if we were going to say, well, I'm going to maybe narrow down to maybe doing my blog on Labradors. My blog is going to be solely focused on Labradors. Now again, the Labrador niche is a large niche. For example, what about the people maybe who are single people who've got a Labrador at home? Then we've got the married people. Then we've got the married people with kids. And then we have the older people that's got a Labrador. Again, in that Labrador niche, there are niches within that niche. Again, if I was writing to that Labrador niche, do I write an article for a single person who is out working all day and has a Labrador that's at home eating the furniture and digging up the garden? And what about the married couple that's got the kids, hasn't got too much time to spend walking the dog? What advice can I give them about the Labrador? And again, the older people, they're not as mobile as they used to be, they can't walk as far, they've got this young dog, they're trying to tire it out, it's just a mess, and they need help. So I'm sure you can see, if you go from a huge dog niche down to a Labrador niche, down to the specific owner that owns that Labrador, I'm sure you can see that the more focused you are on the kind of end person, it's almost like having a huge dartboard. You've got this dart. Where do I throw the dart today? Do I go for the top? Do I go for the middle? Left, right, center? Where do I throw it? And if you niche it down, if you go down to a specific person, you will find that you will be able to throw that dart at the right part of the dartboard every time because you're speaking to that particular person. So I know if I maybe had a blog, maybe for elderly people about Labradors, I could write loads of content on that. I'd know what their daily life is like, what problems they could have. But if I don't know what type of person I'm writing to, how can I help them? Because I'm going too general. I'm giving them information that isn't relevant to them. An elderly couple landing on my blog, if I mention about, a young person who is away working all day, that content's not relevant to them. Any products I might mention to that single person, again, isn't relevant to the elderly couple. So again, when it comes to niches, don't think that you need to go huge. Think small, and think small as possible. Now you might think to yourself, well, if I make it too small, there's going to be nobody there. There's going to be no audience. There's going to be no money. How am I going to survive? Now you will find sometimes that maybe you can go down to a fine point where might be maybe a small audience, or there mightn't be enough money in it. But what you will find that if you focus on one specific niche, a really, really tiny niche, you'll actually become known as an expert in that niche. And what you can do is you can actually expand and go outwards. So you can take your tiny niche, you can expand out, and you can overlap into another niche, and then into another niche. Again, for example, if I was going to maybe write those articles for the elderly couple, I could find maybe other Labrador owners coming down. I could have maybe those single people asking me questions, the married people asking me questions. So what I could do then, I could kind of go from a blog that is just specific to elderly people, and I could kind of move out a little bit to the sides and include those single people, include the married couple. But again, I'm staying closely on my niche of Labradors. So it's better to be a big fish in a small pond, because you can expand out and you will get known as, well, there's the guy that writes the articles for the elderly people for Labradors. You'll find other people will refer their audience to you because you are the person who is writing solely on that particular thing. So as I said, it is kind of, when you do come online, you do think it's numbers, and the big numbers are where you need to focus. But what you need to do is you need to focus on the smaller numbers, the smaller groups, the people who aren't getting the right information. Maybe there is a load of Labrador blogs out there, but many blogs are actually tailored towards elderly people, or maybe people who have a handicap, maybe somebody in a wheelchair or something like that. Again, you're nailing it down to that specific audience. It means I know exactly what content I need to write to them today. It means that I know that if I'm going to create a product or if I'm going to write a book for that person, I will know the exact questions, the exact things I'll need to say in it that's relevant to those people. So don't get too get your head in the game thinking numbers all the time. Focus on the smaller niches first. Get known in that smaller niche, and then you can expand out into larger niches and then be seen more of an expert. And again, the greater number of people you'll be in front of course, the money will come in at a later date. But for now, focus on something small, because it does make your job a lot easier. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.